Hi, my name is Kevin Rafferty. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video about our service offering called Amazon Air, which is Artificially Intelligent Reminder. It's basically a platform on Amazon Prime where we use artificial intelligence to recommend gifts to for your specific loved ones that you can input in, and allows for direct wrapping and delivery of those gifts directly to their place of address. It's all designed around convenience and making everybody's lives a little bit easier, as well as not forgetting any important dates. Let's begin. So we use the AVID framework when going through our presentation. We wanted to verify our opportunity and design job solutions, validate the opportunity, and prepare for execution. So I'm going to walk you through all four main aspects of these throughout the presentation. So first we wanted to figure out what were our job priorities. And if you're a little bit like me, you tend to be somewhat forgetful. I tend to traditionally be quite a procrastinator in terms of obtaining gifts for loved ones, and I forget specific dates a lot. So we started by just thinking, okay, let's create a platform that stores data for your loved ones, their birthdays and anniversaries, and sends reminders directly to your phone, for whatever time period you set in advance, so you have no chance of forgetting it. It also allows the user to browse gift selections that are uncovered by artificial intelligence depending on the information that you decide to put in for your loved one, as well as your past history of looking up that person's profile. And then it shifts the pre-wrapped gifts directly to the user by utilizing Amazon supply chain networks. And really the whole idea that we're trying to go for here is just to remove a lot of stress from the process of finding a gift and, reduce the time that it takes for you to shop for those gifts, such as traffic or waiting in lines or not being able to even find the right gift once you get to a brick and mortar store. So this is our business model canvas. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this slide. I'm going to walk you through most of this. So the key takeaways is that we need to figure out, what are our key partners, key activities, value proposition, customer relationships, customer segments, the channels that we're going to be directly linking to our users, and then what is our cost structure and revenue streams. So starting with customer relations. So our aim is to build our initial customer base from our Amazon Prime customers already. And we also need to make sure that we have relationships with our Amazon shoppers who are using the system, and we'll be attracting those people who are already using Amazon Prime, as well as attracting new people who maybe don't know about this system to join Amazon Prime, and then they'll have access. So what do our revenue streams look like? Well, one of our key revenue streams is just going to be the continued Amazon Prime membership from the monthly fee. And if we can get more people to sign up, then we're going to be boosting that. We also want to be using our advertising revenue from putting specific items on the gift. So if there's a supplier who wants to pay us a little bit extra, we would be willing to maybe bump them up on the recommended list if it fits the criteria for what our users were looking for in the first place. And really the most important thing is that this service is going to be a driver for Amazon sales in general. So it's just kind of another aspect of making what we want those sales to be anyway, just boosting them. So when we're looking at our value proposition, really the value that we're offering here is peace of mind and saving time. And so one of the key components of our service is the text and email notification that a customer can select to have sent to them, at whatever intervals they choose to input. So let's say you have a friend's birthday in July that you often forget. maybe you want to set yourself a reminder sometime in June to have, oh, well, remember this person's birthday in July. You can go right onto your Amazon account and start looking for a gift in advance. And if they live in a different part of the country, you would be able to have it shipped directly to them on the day that you would specify. And along with all of this, we're going to have a AI generate a list, directly specific to that person that that loved one that you are trying to obtain a gift for, based on whatever input, hobbies, personal interests, and past history you have on that person that you want to put in. So what channels are we going to use to connect with our customers? Well, we want to expand our selling channels along the customer base so that they can make purchases wherever they are is really the goal. So we're going to develop a smartphone app that you could just use on your iPhone, so you would be able to look up gifts as well as track the gifts that you already did buy directly on your iPhone whenever you're on the go. And we also want to incorporate smart speakers and Amazon Alexa compatible devices so that you could use that if you're at your home, maybe just in your living room while cooking. You can be, telling Alexa what you want to look up. And then also you could just go on your laptop or PC just to Amazon.com and log in the traditional method. So what are our key activities here? So the two main ones are notifications and gift list creation. And the notifications is just basically reminding, all of our users of an important date, like a birthday or an anniversary ahead of time. And we think that by doing this, we have a lot higher likelihood that those people are going to utilize our service. Once they get that text message from us, they'll go on and then look up the gift directly on Amazon. And also gift list creation is just that our artificial intelligence generated lists are going to be able to suggest more compatible gift ideas. So if there's somebody that you're really maybe a little bit stuck on, finding a gift, that often happens to me, this would be able to help smooth that transition. And the more that you use the service, the better the AI will be at generating potential gifts, recommendations for that specific person. So our key resources are our AI technology and our Amazon marketplace. The AI technology is just the key driver in our gift list creation, and it's going to allow us to better target specific demographics and make a purchase more likely by anybody who's using the service online. And then our Amazon marketplace is definitely one of our major resources because we have such a complex and diverse network with many third-party suppliers, so we should be able to really provide almost any type of gift that our users are looking for. It also just, definitely allows for a very convenient shopping experience because we have easy payment options, fast shipping, and none of the hassle of having to try to drive to a brick and mortar store to even try to hope to find a gift. It's all online from the comfort of your own home. So some of our key partners are third-party retailers. They're very important to our business model because they offer advertising and they really just help to diversify the platform of products that we have. So maybe something that we didn't have in a warehouse, our third-party people would be able to provide that if it's what you're looking for. And also just Amazon, since we will be using our service directly on the Amazon platform, their large ecosystem, their supply chain networks, really just allows us to carry out our entire business model by offering all the necessary components in one very condensed, easy to use interface for consumers. The established customer base is already very large, so that's definitely a major plus too for trying to reach a large breadth of consumers. So what does our cost structure look like? Well, first of all, we have our AI upkeep. So this is probably the most expensive part of our service, and this is because we are going to have to pay to have the programmers, coders, people working on the AI technology, as well as the cloud computing technology that goes into a software like this. The list creation is definitely going to need a lot of refinement and accuracy to work, and that's going to take a lot of human labor and resources. We also have marketing for our services. We want to make sure that people know what we have available. So for existing Amazon Prime customers, we want to make sure that we're telling them, look, this is another product that we have on our website that you can look into. And for people who do not currently have an Amazon Prime account, we really want to be trying to reach those people too, and that just goes along with your average advertising costs. This is the value exchange map. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this slide, but as you can see, there's quite a lot of moving parts to our business, and Amazon really is just the core of everything that we're trying to do here. But we have, different service providers, UPS delivery that we may utilize as well. We have third-party Amazon sellers and advertisers that will also be working in, and then of course our customers are the other major one. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this slide either, but what we did was we went through and just tried to figure out, okay, what are our major value targets that we're trying to offer here? And ultimately, it really does come down to convenience, ease of use, trying to get people to have a better time managing their personal stress levels, because we don't want, somebody to forget an anniversary and then have to deal with the fallout at home from that, or maybe a birthday of a friend. So it's definitely something that can allow you to, stay in better touch with friends who maybe live in different parts of the country, and just make your day-to-day easier, especially given the fact that most of us have very hectic schedules. It can be very hard to remember dates for your personal life, especially if you have a very large extended family or friend group. So we had to determine our demand creation strategy, and first we needed to figure out, okay, what are the market segments that we're trying to target? We have Gen X and Gen Y that are going to be our major ones, we think, and really we're focusing on Gen Y, or the millennial group, ages 24 to 39. Those make up a very large percentage of our current Amazon Prime customer base already, so it's a good place to start. And they're also some of the most likely consumers to respond positively to an online form of shopping, not going into retail brick and mortar. So that's our base. Then we want to work our way up from there, moving into the Gen X and moving into the baby boomer generations a little bit later. Moving into our next best solution, we're really just offering a completely different take on how you remember significant dates and propel the user from point A of not having a gift, and point B of having a gift, and really cutting out the middle steps there of the hassle of trying to actually sit in traffic or go to an online store, or even try to figure out a way to deliver that gift. We take care of all of that, the wrapping and gift delivery. It's really just all taken care of, which is definitely one of the great things that we offer here. In terms of entering the market, the barriers to entry for us to do this is actually pretty low, although it's pretty high for our competitors. And the cost of marketing, again, not very high, considering that it's all mostly digital, but something to consider. Sales and delivery is definitely our big cost, and something that we're really depending on to make our business successful. We think that we are going to have these lead to successful outcome of our entrance, and we believe that the resources that we have definitely act as major sources of leverage for us for our demand creation strategy. So our optimal solution, when we're looking at the customer segment, what are the gains that we're offering? Again, it's increased free time. It's time that you're not spending shopping. You can spend with friends and family, or being productive in your own personal work life. The shopping process is just a lot more convenient for people, so we're adding value there. And that's really just to try to increase happiness and the added benefit of better relationships by remembering things. So the value proposition, game creators, we want to increase the visual appeal of gifts by offering the gift wrapping service and increase confirmation of delivery time and customer service to provide, a sense of security for our consumers that are using our service. Pain relievers, we're really minimizing the chaos and stress of the shopping experience, as well as increasing the probability that you're going to find the gift that you're really looking for, or the perfect gift that you didn't even know you were looking for somebody very quickly and with as much ease as possible. So we wanted to validate our opportunity, so we did an online poll. We gave people, 100 survey participants, 3 options, and they were a mix of different, business models. That the one with the stars is what we were trying to accomplish, and then another two other options that they could choose from. And we really used the criteria of software, notifications, gift selection, wrapping gifts, price, and social value for them to try to compare and make their own informed judgment. So what were the results? We had, again, our 100 survey participants. 16% of those chose our service as the best option. And this doesn't seem like a lot right off the bat, but when you do a little bit of math, 16% of the 112 million current Amazon Prime members is approximately 18 million new users that we believe would be willing to sign up for our service and pay the $5 a month additional fee right off the bat. And we think that as that service grows in popularity, that market share percentage would increase pretty substantially over time. And even if it didn't, just that 16% is generating approximately $90 million a month, which is, really well over what we were hoping for to try to cover the cost. That also doesn't take into account just the increased general sales that we're going to see, as a result of people actually using the service and purchasing gifts on our platform. When looking at some of the market conditions currently out there, we wanted to look at push dynamics and, all in all, the market conditions for COVID-19 are they're really pushing people away from your traditional retail brick and mortar stores and onto the online platforms such as Amazon in terms of basically obtaining anything that they want, whether that's gifts or not. So, we definitely think that's an important factor in the current market conditions that could benefit us. And in terms of switch dynamics, we've already seen a trend towards online shopping in the past several years without the COVID-19 pandemic, so we think that that trend is going to continue into the future. And we also think that once customers try our service and make that initial switch, they're pretty unlikely to go back to old brick and mortar shopping, at least for a lot of different consumer goods. There's also just really no competitors out there that are going to be able to rival Amazon's logistics supply chain and our decreased costs from economies of scale. There's also not many that have the breadth of product offering that we're really providing for our customers. Our cost structure, it's very low cost structure, and one of the reasons is that we're really not reinventing an online platform, and we're not really starting a national supply logistics chain from scratch, but we're innovating Amazon's current one to provide additional value, which is really great for our bottom line. Also, the marketing costs to our existing Amazon Prime members are going to be pretty easy and cheap, as they're already on our platform. All we need to do is just send them different notifications and whatnot to their account. It costs little to nothing to actually do that. Lastly, we wanted to look at, okay, what are the major risks and how can we mitigate them for this idea? Well, right off the bat, supply chain issues. If we don't have good third-party suppliers and we don't have proper logistics networks, for product fulfillment challenges, then we're really going to have a tough time succeeding. So we want to mitigate that with definitely increased collaboration for everybody involved in the different moving parts of our service, and we want to establish effective measurement and channels to be voiced and addressed. So at any level of our supply network, if there are people that have good ideas or want to raise some concerns, we want them to be able to do that pretty easily. That wraps up my presentation. And again, this is Amazon Air, Artificially Intelligent Reminder. Thank you for taking the time to watch it. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, or any recommendations, I'd be happy to hear those too. Thank you.